Hello, this is the Tridoru presentation with graphics from Sarah Freedz. It's a tactical game for 2 players where the target to win the game, where the goal to win the game is create 3 in a row in these cards that are disposed in a 3x3 grid with these tokens here. These are camp tokens, these are troop tokens, and these are the dice. And each player has those tokens, one for the blue player and one set for the red player. There are also some skill cards, and these are influence cards. To put these tokens, we will be putting first the troop tokens, and once we have the necessary influence, we will replace the troop tokens with camp tokens. The gameplay is really easy. At the beginning of the turn, both players roll the dice and place the dice on the skill cards depending on the result. So 1 and 2 go to the first card, 3 and 4 to the second card, and 5 and 6 to the last card. On every turn, each player will be controlling totally or partially one of the skills. If one player has more dice than the other in one skill, that player controls that skill. For example, here blue player controls creativity, red player controls exploration, and both red and blue players control partially the friendship skill. Now it's time to play the influence cards from the hands. We can play these cards rotating them up, down, right, or left. So for example, I'm going to play my card like this, and let's suppose that my opponent plays the card like this. These cards are going to decide how do we put these troop tokens, and both cards can put troop tokens from both players. I will start by resolving this one because it has a number 1 while this has a number 6. So we begin with the lower card, and I have to put one of my tokens in creativity, one of the red player's token in exploration, and one of my tokens in friendship. The rule says that you have to put one of your tokens where you control totally or partially one skill, and one of the other player's token where that player controls totally the skill. So that's why I put one of my tokens in creativity and friendship and one red token in exploration. So in this case I have creativity is in the bottom right corner, and friendship is in the upper left corner. So I put one of my tokens here and one of my tokens here, and a red player's token here. Now we go with the red player's card, and the red player, let's check that before, will put one of my blue tokens in where creativity is pointing out, and one of his tokens where exploration and friendship is pointing out. So creativity is here in the center on the right, so he will put one of my tokens here, and one of his tokens, one here and another one here. Now we would have to check if with this troops token can we put any camp token, but that's not possible in this turn. We need to have as many troop token as the necessary influence in that card. So in this card I will need to have 3 troop tokens, in this one 2, or in this one 4, for example. So now we discard these cards apart, and we draw 1 extra card each player. So we always finish with 2 cards in hand. And again we start by rolling the die. Oh, sorry. Oh, come on. Okay, so we roll the dice again, and this is the result. It's 2 here, 4, 4, and 3. Now the blue player, control totally the exploration, and the red player controls totally the creativity. It's just about having majority of dice, no matter if I have 2 or 1 dice on one of the cards. And no one controls friendship, so for friendship we will put no tokens in this turn. So now I see the board and I want to go for this place, for the scary swamp. So I would try to put exploration pointing to the scary camp, for example with this card here. So I would play this card face down. Really, the opponent player would play his card face down too, and now we would flip the cards both at the same time. He has a 7, I have a 5, so I would start resolving my card. So I put one of my tokens here because that's where the exploration is pointing out, and one of the red player's token in creativity, which is here. Now the other player will put one of his tokens in creativity, which is there on the left, in the center on the left, and one of my tokens on the center up. Now we have to check if we put these camp tokens, and since I have influence equal to 2 in this card, I will remove as many tokens as the number of the cards minus 1. So in this case I will remove 1 token and I will put one of my camp token. Now my influence in this card is 1 because of the troop token and 2 because of the camp token. The camp token makes influence equal to the value. So if I had this same token but in this card, this token would give influence equal to 4. We continue playing until one of the players make 3 in a row with these tokens. A couple of things. We can steal other players' camp token in this way. I need to have more influence than the other player. So in this card, I would need 3 influence equal to 3. So for example, like this. And in this case, I will remove the camp token. Then I would remove as many troop token. As many troop token as the influence of the card. In this case, 2, and I would put my camp token. This is not very usual, but makes player think that the camp token can be stealed. Another thing is if I want to put a token here, but I have no tokens on my reserve, I have to move tokens from any adjacent position. So for example, I can move, this token here or whatever. The point of this is that if I want to, put a token here, I can't because I don't have tokens in my reserve and there is no token adjacent. So you have to keep that in mind. Also, these skill cards can be played on the other side, which is an asymmetrical side. In this case, is for one of the player, for example, the red one. 1, 2 is on the first card, 3, 4, 5 on the second, and 6 on the third. While for the blue player, 1 is on the first card, 2, 3, 4 on the second card, 5 and 6 on the third card. And also there is a more advanced mode where we would use a token, a meeple token, which is a leader. That leader makes influence equal to 2, and we would play these cards on the other side. They are the same, but the difference is the number. The number is exactly 1 more. So this 4 becomes a 5, the 2 becomes a 3, and so on. So basically that's the game, and I hope you enjoy it.